Hello everybody, on the eve of Burnley playing Sunderland tonight, we are going to be speaking about Sunderland's recruitment model and how impressive it is and how they're mixing it with the big boys right now. Sunderland are one of the big boys obviously in this division, but when it comes to the parachute payment team, Sunderland don't have that, and what they've had to combine is the money ball approach, and obviously what that means, what that encompasses is getting very good data-driven players for a very, very small fee, which is quite interesting when we're looking at Tom Cannon a little bit earlier on and then been in for him. So we're going to be getting into exactly what KLD, Louis-Dreyfus and Kristjaan Speakman have brought to Sunderland in their time at the club. So Sunderland do thrive on that data-driven money ball approach of which Brentford have made so successful. Brentford partnered with a betting company years and years and years ago, and they do a lot of their data-driven work through them, but they also try and mesh it with traditional methods as well, and that just encompasses a proper mentality and a proper work ethic. Now that doesn't only follow Sunderland's method when it comes to player recruitment, but it was also the managerial recruitment which led to Régis Le Bris and will still been looked at in the summer months. Now, we mentioned Brentford a little bit ago and then partnering with a betting company that helps them with this data-driven work. Sunderland have been partnered with DribbleApp now for a couple of seasons, and this is a company that allows them to really enforce that data-driven work. It enables Sunderland to identify undervalued talent in smaller areas, and it means that Sunderland can maximise their budget and also identify players with potential resale value. And I guess the most iconic one so far for Sunderland has maybe been Jack Clarke going to Ipswich for 20+ million quid. At Sunderland, they create a database of target which aligns with the manager's culture and tactical values. And this means that Régis Le Bris, a lot of people will think that the recruitment team is completely separate to him, but he has a massive say in what goes on. And I guess the big example right now is Enzo joining a previous player of the manager, but he would have had to fit A, B, C, and D when it came to Sunderland's recruitment model, which he did. Now, what the Moneyball approach encompasses as well is some of these deals just won't work. We've seen the likes of Bradley Dack come in a free transfer last season, Rusin come in, we've seen Leo Yelder come in, and it's not actually worked as probably well as Sunderland wanted it to. But sometimes it doesn't. You know, Sunderland are trying to hit these marks on this data spreadsheet, and they're trying to align these players with cultural values, and there are different circumstances that might occur. Players might not get used to the surrounding area. They might not be able to deal with the manager. That's reality. Ultimately, they might just not be able to acclimatise to the Championship. These are all real factors that as football fans, we don't take into consideration. It's normally just all about, well, footballers have to be good at football and everything has to be perfect. That's just not reality. In the 23-24 season, there were also some that worked if we're just looking on the past couple of seasons where Sunderland have risen a little bit and gained themselves a little bit of a profile, obviously, in the Championship. Mienda, for me, been a big one. When Sunderland poached him, I believe he was 17, 18 years of age. He's an 800 grand signing who I think when you've seen him in little bits this season has shown his potential, especially against Sheffield United at the Stadium of Light. Romain Mundle, who was brought in last season as well from Standard Liège, costing around about €2 million, who is literally that perfect Jack Clarke replacement on the left for me. The attributes are all the same. It is so data-driven. It is unbelievable because you look at the mirroring attributes, the jinking, the shoulder roll, the acceleration. It's all very, very similar to that of Jack Clarke. And then you obviously look at the big one last season, Jobe Bellingham for 1.75 million. He is now going to go for 20 million plus. So it's a real good indictment on that recruitment policy. Then again, we look at the young development coming through the academy, everybody, and Tom Watson and Chris Rigg. If they keep going on that upward trajectory, there is a genuine possibility that both go for 15 million plus each. And that's all within the last 2 seasons. Now you look at this season, Chris Mepham coming in on loan, I think is a really solid transfer. In Poveda has a lot of potential, had a lot of potential at Leeds United, but seems to have a lot of off-the-field issues. So I don't know if I'd use that as a miss for Sunderland, but what I would say is, once again, it's that thing we were talking about earlier when it comes to external issues. Alan Brown was an interesting one because he veered away from Sunderland's young target base, which it normally is. He's 29 years of age, unfortunately has picked up an injury. And they've also got a highly rated wonder kid in their ranks, Sunderland, Milan Aleksic, who is genuinely supposed to be one of the greatest talents in world football at this moment in time. They bought him in the summer months and he's supposed to be bringing big things. We've not seen enough of him yet, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. That could be a hit, but it could be a miss as well. And alongside that, for me, everybody, Wilson Isidore, I think he's a proper player. I think his athleticism, his physicality, I think if you hone in on just that finishing ability, there's genuine possibilities that this guy could be a Premier League player. And all of these are just genuine examples of their recruitment model working. And with clubs like Burnley, Sheffield United, Leeds United, and maybe others in the Championship set to spend loads of money or have spent loads of money during the summer period and gone into this season, Sunderland are just proving that you don't have to do that. And with a really good honed in recruitment model, you can really pick out certain players from smaller leagues who are going to go for for better value, or in turn will play very, very well for your team. And, you know, you look at Burnley's recent relegation from the Premier League, spending 100 million. You look at Ipswich spending 100 million as well. Do you have to do that when you go to the Premier League? That's a conversation to have, but it feels even if Sunderland went up there, they just wouldn't do that. Would that be a curse, or would it be one of these really intelligent moves that Sunderland are making again? But it does prove that building a sustainable model is absolutely idyllic for every single club, and Sunderland are definitely one of those. Sunderland for years now, with Ekwar and Tri-Hume and many others, Patterson, etc., have been building this for a while. Young players coming in, developing at Sunderland, gaining a really good reputation, playing in front of a big crowd, playing under pressure, and then being able to really elevate themselves to that next level when it comes to even going from the bottom half of the Championship to the top half of the Championship. Now these players are worth so much more than what Sunderland brought them in for. Sunderland's rise, though, to 4th place is no accident. This has been years of planning when it comes to the Black Cats, and it could actually come to fruition in terms of success, proper success, this season. And if they do it, it's been unbelievable that they've done it in such a short space of time with KLD and Speakman, and it's big credit to them as well. The smart spending, the focus on bringing really good youth players through like Tom Watson and Chris Rigg, alongside data-driven success stories with the likes of Isidore, Jobe, Bellingham, potentially Enzo and Alexic. So what do you guys think of Sunderland's recruitment strategy? Can they keep this up and secure promotion? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, if you are watching live, I will be there tonight with the Burnley and Sunderland watch along. Make sure you come over and have a watch. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.